me loose. Gold on patrol. Money in my pocket and I'm all up in the zone line.
So as a prelude to Death Battles, Akuma versus Shao Kahn, I'm going to be making power scaling videos to basically, get these characters equalized, or at least put them on a plane where they both can fight each other on equal footing here. And honestly, with Akuma and the Capcom franchise, a lot of things can be considered canon. The Capcom franchise has shown to be very fluent with their crossovers, even with the Marvel Universe, which actually scales to them in this regard. So we're actually going to be talking about that here. But first things first here, we got to talk about the characters. Akuma easily scales above here. Now, this is obvious. He scales above just about everyone except Gil in Street Fighter. This will include characters like the Bae herself, Chun Li, and the likes of Ryu. Ryu in Marvel's Capcom Infinity was actually able to go toe-to-toe and actually was able to either beat or stalemate the Hulk, depending on what you think the story was trying to tell us here. And yeah, that's a canon fight here. Ryu actually was able to subdue the Hulk here. This Hulk would again be scaling to planet to universal type things here. Um, he and Ryu are capable of smashing these Ultron drones. These Ultron drones are more powerful than even our 616 Ultron, due to the fact that these guys are able to literally smash a barrier and crack they're each able to put dents in the time stone. The time stone again would scale to the other infinity stones, which would equate to universal to multiversal power here. And yet Ryu and Hulk are each able to literally smash these drones like it's nothing. You might say legendary, that's a game. It shouldn't count here. Actually, it should, because even in the story mode gameplay, this is actually a part of the story. You literally have to defend Wakanda from a bare time stone with a time stone barrier here, while an Elder Dragon, which I'll get into later, is pretty much trying to basically doing the heavy hitting here. So you could say it's a conjoined feat here, but Hulk and Ryu were both able to stop the Elder Dragon, who's basically amped by Ultron in this fight here. Amped and controlled by Ultron here, and Hulk and Ryu are just able to smash these guys. Now, Akuma regularly scales above Ryu. He's regularly beaten Ryu in fights here. Literally just clowned on Ryu in regards here. So yeah, these guys should be noticeably weaker than Akuma here. Now you might say legendary, why aren't you scaling, him to 616 Hulk? And that's because this isn't the 616 universe. Marvel vs. Capcom are individual universes, So it is a part of the Marvel multiverse that has been confirmed by the recent Spider-Verse issues. They actually had Marvel vs. Capcom Spider-Man fight Morlun and get one-shotted. So I'm not sure how that pretty much fares here. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You could say it's just a gag and then, just roll on over it. But still, Marvel vs. Capcom, yeah, it's pretty much the opposite scaling here. Marvel characters scale to Capcom characters in this universe. So honestly, that should be sorry, that should be pretty noteworthy here, that these characters pretty much scale to each other. All right, you can see some characters are superior to each other, as in the story here, but other than that, yeah, Ryu and has been able to he scales down to Akuma. Akuma's actually just regularly beating him, and Ryu again would scale possibly to this version of the Hulk, maybe above him in skill. That's a no-brainer. But he and Hulk together were able to each take out this Elder Dragon in their own way, or at least take out this Elder Dragon in their in the best way possible here. And they actually showed comparable power during this fight here. So yeah, Elder Dragons aren't No pushover. I will get into that in the video because this does mean that Monster Hunter has a lot of scaling here. You can even scale Hulk above the Faded 4, which will all be, continental to planetary. You could also scale Akuma above Ultron Sigma here, due to the fact that, again, game type stuff here. You could literally say, considering he scales above, Ryu, who was also a part of the Ultron Sigma fight, Chun Li, who as well took part in this fight. Then there are characters that, that also participate in this fight: Dante, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, a plethora of characters in this fight here that he could pretty much scale to, or scale above here. Now you could say that he could scale to Shuma Gorath as well here, due to the fact that this Doctor Strange does have the same knowledge and the same excuse me, same experience as 616 Doctor Strange, but just less powerful here. I think that much can be safe to say here. And you can also, again, sorry, you can also still, go back to the Ultron Sigma argument I was just talking about earlier. Ultron Sigma scales above multiple characters in the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity Universe. This would include Galactus himself, who is, again, a universal constant. Even weaker versions of Galactus, like Ultimate Galactus, have still been able to, threaten to destroy the universe, or, breached into other universes. If not, you can still count, if you want to say legendary, that's Cap here. Weaker versions of Galactus have still been known to show universal to, like multiversal attack potency. So again, it's not outside of the category for Akuma to scale above these characters in any regard here. It's really just, how you want to interpret it here. Do you think they're equal to the 616 universe? Do you think they're above the 616 universe? Do you think they're equal to the Ultimate Universe, who still has that, that universal type scaling here? But needs to say here, each of these guys could scale above the Infinity Stones pretty easily, which can, tear apart the fabric of the universe as a whole here. So honestly, it's just ridiculous. So yeah, there are plenty of characters that they could just scale above. They could just scale Akuma above. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor. Each of these guys have been able to go toe to toe and fight against characters like Jeddah. Next character I want to talk about is Chun Li in this franchise. Chun Li in the Capcom, or the Street Fighter franchise. There was a canon crossover between Street Fighter and the Darkstalkers, and they all showed to be pretty much around the same level. This means you could scale them from continental to higher, considering that B-class Darkstalkers have shown to have country to continental levels of attack potency. And Akaris has been able to shown that he can sink his entire country. Queen B, I believe her name was, or the B Darkstalker, has shown that she can lift I think an island-sized castle. So that's pretty ridiculous. Chun-Li has also been able to fight against Morgan pretty consistently through the Darkstalker franchise. Morgan is an absolute monster in her own right here. She's actually very close to Jeddah in power. Jeddah is a universal being, or no, actually is a multiversal being, because he scales above Pyron, who's been able to consume universes. So you also have that, that universal scaling. You can also use endings where, Morgan was able to beat Pyron. She can even slice Pyron in half, even though he can regenerate still. Pretty noteworthy feat that she can still slice Pyron in half. She also beat Lord Raptor pretty easily. She beat it was this red samurai looking red samurai looking Darkstalker. But more or less, she's shown that she could scale to Morgan, who's literally one of the definitely top 3 most powerful Darkstalkers in her franchise. She's even been able to fight against John Talbane, who's one of the stronger Darkstalkers. Actually is, physically stronger than Morgan and can physically harm Pyron with his blows. Even a low end for Pyron is definitely like galaxy level, because he's been able to destroy and grow bigger than galaxies themselves and just crush them. You can also again scale him above Dante. Dante, who's fought Mundus. Mundus actually has universal level feats here. He actually split the sorry about that. He actually split the universe in two. All right. And Dante, consistently has, you can also scale him above Dante in speed, who has faster than light to many times faster than light. Could scale him above Quicksilver as well. That's Dante's move, by the way, not the actual, ability. Dante in this franchise was also able to fight against Jedidoma, who I will get into a little bit as well here. And you might say, hey, Legendary, why aren't you saying anything about Akuma's feats himself? Why are you saying, the stuff we already know here? One, Akuma is casually confirmed to be the strongest Street Fighter, or at least the most powerful one in there. I could even use the Street Fighter versus Tekken, story mode, where he fights Ogre, just pretty much could bully out Ogre pretty easily. And yeah, so this is pretty much me saying pretty much the obvious kind of stuff here. You can also scale him above again. So back out to what I was saying, scale him above Dante, even this double trigger state. You can also scale him above Virgil, who has a sword that can slice through entire universes. So again, you can scale him above these franchises like it's nothing. Scale him above Darkstalkers, scale him above his Street Fighter companions who have fought Darkstalkers. He's fought Darkstalkers as well. He actually fought Jeddah himself here and was just tearing like right into him. And Jeddah is, again, I stated to be a universal to multiversal entity. You can also use his own feats. His own feats will definitely put him around continental to planetary. It's very arguable. I would definitely say he would probably be in the same boat as characters like Madara Uchiha in terms of that power level in this franchise. Yeah, so yeah, you can definitely make the argument that Akuma, for example, if you put Akuma against the 5 Kage, you can definitely argue Akuma would lose, but not, but not the same way that Madara could have lost. It'd probably be a lot more different and be a lot more dependent. But anyway, whatever. I guess I just got a little off topic right there. I don't know why I did that myself. But then you have his form, Oni, which has been shown in other Street Fighter games before. Oni is basically Akuma's second stage here. Now, you can scale this one easily. Easily can scale this one to Asura. Alright? Asura from Azura's Wrath. That's pretty easy to scale, considering Asura has shown planet to legit galaxy busting types of moves here. I mean, really, it's been ridiculous here. He scales to even Mantra Ashura, which it has been able to pretty much save the planet, Gaia, on pretty much multiple occasions. It's his strongest form there, and he's just casually duking it out with this guy. Like, really? Like, this man was already able to beat Wizen in his weakest form, who was bigger than the Earth. All right, he was doing some Cetrion type of stuff here, and he was just just able to casually destroy, beat him, call it a day, and Oni was just casually taking these attacks from Ashura and just continuing to fight like it was nothing. He was getting grinded in the ground, grinded against the moon, and this Ashura had just fought Evil Ryu. Alright? Evil Ryu was nothing just to Base Akuma. Like, Base Akuma legit just one-shots Ryu just right after, the fight's done here. And then Oni's here, giving him a much better and much more, devastating fight than, than Evil Ryu was. All right. And a lot of people say like, oh, aren't evil Ryu and Oni equal? Nah, not by this fight. By this depiction, Oni is much stronger. All right. You could also scare him to Ashura in combat speed here, saying that, oh, he's many times faster than light in combat here. It's pretty easily. Ashura has been able to react to soul cannons, which would definitely be around faster than light speed, considering they can cross a considerably good distance from space to Earth in a little less than a couple seconds. It literally takes no time at all here. This fact that Ashura Blast can reach the seven deities base with little to no effort. So yeah, honestly, these guys are just consistently just consistently massively above planetary here. And then, you get the DLC extension story, which I guess is canon. Ashura was fighting a being that was just much bigger than galaxies, even throwing planets much bigger than galaxies, I guess. This guy was throwing stars at him like it was nothing. I mean, dude, like, what? Ashura was just going through stars like it was nothing, going through planets like it was nothing. He was throwing planets at him like he was like he was Galactus here, like those petty cosmic entities that's just like to grab a planet and smack the other entity with them, basically like that. And Ashura was just casually going through this like it was nothing. And not only does Oni have the attack potency to compete with Ashura, he also has the durability. All right, taking attacks from even these plethora of characters, taking kicks from Chun Li. You can even scale him above M. Bison, who scales above, most Street Fighters. I guess that's a no now because, he was beaten by Ryu and was subtly injured by Alex, who's pretty much he's a decent Street Fighter. I'm not going to lie. Alex deserves his credit where it's due. Now, I know a lot of people can scale Ashura to Universal by, him killing his creator. But what did that do? The creator, his creator, just to what, did he create the universe or something, or did he just create the seven deities? I mean, sure, the guy's pretty powerful. I mean, he proved that himself here, but but what did that prove here? I could definitely see Ashura being universal, but maybe I think we'll just leave it at that. Ashura can definitely show universal attack potency. All right, he's definitely universal in power, and Oni casually scales to this, and might even be above this later on here. There's even the fact that in the Marvel vs. Capcom comic books, which are canon, they're canon, so you got to take that as you will. It's its own franchise, so yeah. You have the fact that these characters can scale above, or scale to, Rathalos. And Rathalos literally has a history of fighting Elder Dragons and Elder Dragon-like monsters. And Hulk and Ryu, again, were able to fight the Elder Dragon. And even able to fight against casual wyverns of this franchise as well here. This is important because a lot of these characters can now scale, I think, relative to these characters. They can definitely scale relative to Ryu and Ryu and Black Panther. They definitely can scale to Black Panther, considering Black Panther did take out an Elder Dragon. You can even scale Ryu above Wolverine, who's fought Hulk, or scale him to there. You can even, scale them to Nergigante. Nergigante would be definitely the strongest of the Elder Dragons. There's really just no doubt about it. He's just pretty much the Elder Dragon's kryptonite here. These Elder Dragons are just, they're scared of him. They're scared of him, and for good reason. He's their apex predator. So this does mean he can take these Elder Dragons down. If you want a full description, you can go to the Monster Museum and go to my video, Can Nergigante Hunt every Elder Dragon. Yeah, that pretty much just dives into it entirely. But yeah, you guys should get the point here. They should scale to Nergigante in strength here. They could scale to Valstrex in terms of speed here. Maybe a little bit lesser than Valtrex. I definitely could put Valtrex at Mach to at least close to the speed of light. Considering that he should be the fastest of the Elder Dragons, and it seems like he's confirmed as that. This makes him faster than Garuda Deora, who is a subspecies of Kushala Deora that uses light instead of wind to travel. So this means that Valstrex is just massively above this dragon in terms of speed, alright? You can even scale them to low tier wyverns, or at least class 4 wyverns. Class 4 wyverns are the ones that are pretty close to Elder Dragon monsters or Elder Dragon level. And that would be the the obvious ones, the Fated 4, right? Mitsusune, the Bubble Fox, you can definitely scale them above that. These monsters would have continental levels of attack potency, considering Devil Joe, who's known to destroy entire ecosystems, and ecosystems can be around islands to continents, as shown in the Monster Hunter franchise. This would definitely show them that, you know, these guys could definitely scale to Devil Joe. Devil Joe can equal the power of Elder Dragons. And Elder Dragons are backed by, let's see here. Yeah, Universal Lore. That's really just ridiculous altogether. Now you might say you can actually argue it's multiversal lore, because they did seed eternity. These first 5 Elder Dragons were able to seed eternity, and it's possible that Xeno'jiiva or Sapphire were one of the first 5 Elder Dragons to seed eternity, including the likes of I've actually made this theory before, Sherry Ishvalda being one of the few dragons to seed eternity and make the lands of the world. As we actually saw, he had full control and full capability of using these lands, little to no problem, and causing these massive earthquakes across the planet. So yeah, I gotta say what I gotta say here. I mean, these Elder Dragons can scale to be a universal, and these monsters like Glavenus, Gameth, Barioth, stage 4. Monsters that are going to be a pain in the butt. Monsters you're gonna die at least twice against before you get that third W. Before you get the third time's the charm and you get that W. Okay. So, honestly, yeah. 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 They can definitely scale to Monster Hunter here. Attack potency and in terms of versatility, Akuma is no slouch here. He has the Raging Demon, which automatically destroys a user's soul. So that's pretty much a instant kill type of combo. He can phase 2 attacks, turn invisible. He can use his chi to channel and amp his attacks, as you've seen with the Go Hadouken, the Go Sumaki Pukia, or the Tatsumaki Pukia, his version of it, which actually adds a lightning effect to it that Ryu does not have. He can also use the Go Hadouken. He can even make a wave of ki here. This wave here was actually able to sink an entire island with just a pretty much like a smack of his palm upon the ground. He just pretty much sunk that whole island like it was nothing here. And Akuma has casually been able to do this here. So honestly, yeah, Akuma could do a lot. Akuma could do a lot here. He's even torn through, again, Jeddah Doma by himself here. I believe you guys have seen the pics yet. But I believe you guys have seen the pics, but if not yet, they should be popping up pretty soon here. Skeleton above Ultron Sigma, who had the Reality Stone and the Space Stone. This was able to merge both the Marvel Universe and the Capcom Universe casually. And, here it is. He's been able to rip apart Jeddah, like, little to no difficulty here. Even take attacks from Jeddah. And Jeddah, with a drop of his blood, literally, a tiny drop, literally just a drop of blood, was able to create his own universe, his own space-time. There's also the fact that you can scale him above Amaterasu, not the attack from Naruto, aka Itachi, the homie, but the dog Amaterasu, who actually has the ability to oh my, who actually has the ability to spin the entire galaxies like it's nothing. All right. So honestly, I think it's safe to say here you could just scale him. Yeah, you could definitely scale him above certain things. Yeah, you could definitely scale him above a lot of characters. All right, scale him above Asura. Scale him above Dante, Virgil, Hagar, who actually has matched the Hulk in strength. So you have that. You can scale his skill level to literally master class. So you can literally scale him above the likes of Juri Han, who's beaten Zeth. All right, you can scale him above Juri and M Bison, who have beaten Zeth and other characters. Zeth has literally the fighting skills of other Street Fighters, such as Ryu, Damzil. Scale him above Nakali, who's able to literally absorb other fighters and get stronger, and was actually able just to beat base Ryu, Ryu without any harmony in his soul here. You can even scale him to Marvel's Capcom Infinity Thanos here, as Thanos legit took the Satsui no Hado and was going to see if he could kill Death with it. So that he was pretty confident that the Satsui no Hado even scaled above the Infinity Stones. Like, he legit said, I don't need the stones, I got this. Like, he literally took Ryu's, dark side, or Satsui no Hado, basically the same power as evil Ryu. It was like, yeah, I got this. And Akuma uses the Satsui no Hado regularly. All right? So Thanos literally just gave us the idea that his Satsui no Hado, Akuma's main power in base and in a transformed state, was above the Infinity Stones. Not just 1, 2, 3, or 4, all 6. Time, space, reality, soul, power, mind were all nothing compared to that. I think you all know what that means here. That's like that. Yeah, that's some multiversal power behind Akuma here. And honestly, I think that's just it's ridiculous. Let's be real here. It's ridiculous. I think we can all agree here that it's pretty much ridiculous here that Marvel's Capcom Infinity actually went that far here to say that. But again, the game's the game. We can't really complain about it. I mean, it is what it is at this point. He scales above so many characters in his own franchise, and then these characters come into other franchises and are able to contend with these characters. I mean, Chun Li already contended against Morgan in a canon fight, so yeah, it is what it is, ma. It is what it is, bro. I mean, it's a casual thing nowadays for people to cross over and people to scale. I mean, Marvel versus DC has its own canon fights here, but again, we know the context behind that. The fan voted fights for some of them, and some of them weren't. You just got to know which ones were fan voted here, and what's the context behind each of these characters here. Like, for example, Superman versus the Hulk. Superman fought Professor Hulk, and not the actual Hulk in general. But anyway, guys, I think this video has kind of dragged on long enough here. I wonder where's that galaxy fee I was going to show you. Ah, yes.
He could easily scale above Amaterasu, you know, the dog here, who's literally been able to spin a whole galaxy with his power. All right? And Akuma could just casually scale above this, you know, like little to no effort here, guys, all right? So Akuma, at the end of the day here, he's incredibly strong, incredibly fast, incredibly durable, and he's got universal levels of attack potency. So let me know what you guys think. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Ghidorah, and I'll see you guys later for the Shao Kahn power scaling video, then the Zygarde versus Cell. Peace.